Tortuga, A Pirate's Tale has a new update. Let's talk about it. Thank you to Calypso Media for the free game. I'm gonna go down the list of changes and I'll also tell you what's important and what's not really important. Improvements, so if you're a console player, I'm on PC, but if you're on console, apparently your font size got increased so that stuff is better to read. And your frame rate on the PS5 and Xbox Series X has been improved and is no longer unstable. I hope that is correct and I hope that is fixed for you. The tooltips of ship upgrades now display more information. If you've watched my last few videos, you may have seen these changes already, but here are some Harbormaster improvements with the added weight info for ship upgrades. This is like the biggest one. The weight info is such a huge help. When selecting new cannons, cannon decks now display damage difference in comparison to currently installed cannons. This is really nice as well because now you can see if it actually does more damage or not. Before the update, I would just layer a cannon on top of each other to see the differences in damage, but I have a cannon guide coming out and this will actually help explain it to you all a lot easier because they made this change for this update. Cannons can now be sold by type via clicking on the upgrade slot or by clicking on the deck, which this is what you can do with the other upgrades as well, but now you can just do it with the cannons. And cannons can now also be sold at ordinary Harbormasters, not the special ones. Upgrades which are selected to be bought are now displayed with a lower opacity in the upgrade slots. At 100% is right now where you can see me, and opacity when it's lower is like this. It's basically a visibility meter and they're lowering the visibility on the upgrades that you're buying. It's not really a big deal. All upgrades can now also be sold under their respective category. Now this one caused some confusion for some people. So there's standard long 9s, which you have like starting out with the brig when you start a new game. They're terrible cannons. And then there's long 9 cannons, which are pretty much the best cannons in the whole game. And now there's an icon that separates those. Sea Battle improvements, I noticed this instantly, which is what made me a lot happier with the game, is mortar animation is now skippable, which when I was doing a lot of testing for firefighter skills and mortars, so like having to watch it the whole time, very painful. I have 56 hours on Tortuga, A Pirate's Tale because I've been testing a lot of stuff to help you out on YouTube, so putting in a lot of work. Animations of players' action phase are now skippable and adding an option to disable cinematic sea battle camera. This is great because I'm so used to battles by now, I'm skipping it. Now balancing. This is actually a huge change. So gold was rebalanced so that the absolute numbers were decreased overall, as well as the relative numbers adjusted. Please note, to avoid negatively interfering with current rounds, balance changes to gold will only affect new games which are started with update number 1. The best method to obtaining gold was to sell ships because they were ridiculously highly priced and you can get like 600,000 off of selling a Queen Anne. That has now come to an end, but not really. Selling ships is still the number 1 priority of obtaining gold in the game, so it's still your number 1 money maker. But they decreased the ship selling prices so that it's not a staggering amount. There's more post-battle loot, which is good. If you played before the update, you may have noticed that it was really hard to find loot. There's art, there's prosthetics, gunpowder, rounds, hemp. There's just a lot of those rare kind of loot things that you don't get from capturing ships or raids, and now they give you more of that, which is really helpful. They adjusted quest rewards, but it's such a small change that it's not really important. It's just some more gold. Adjusted equipment prices so that tier 1 is cheaper in general and higher tiers cost more. If you've been following all my videos, then you kind of have an understanding of what you're doing. Getting money really won't be a problem for you to get those higher tiers, but they do cost substantially more. And then they also adjusted the prices for the additional cannon decks so that the ones for bigger decks are more expensive. There's cannon deck tiers, which I'm going to talk about more in my cannon guide coming soon. You can have 2 deck tiers, and there's also a tier 3, which gives you 2 decks like the second one, but also a front cannon. Smaller ships now have better maneuverability than bigger ships. This is a small change. Maneuverability doesn't matter. They reduced the requirements for late game article of capture. This is a huge one because if you were like me and others who have played this for a while, you've gotten all the big ships, you've gotten everything, and those article of captures that are like sink 30 ships, Board 59 ships. Raid 12 towns. That's really hard to do in one sitting without your crew literally causing a mutiny and just like bailing on you. It's really hard to keep all their happiness high while doing that much work. Now, if they lowered the morale loss, it would be easy, but this patch did not do that. So we're still going to see some issues with that late game article of capture. They did lower the requirements, but we'll still see some issues because that morale loss is still so continuous. Experience gain after level 30 increased, and experience reward from main scenario quest increased. This is a pretty nice touch, but experience, really, once you get these 6 and 7 skills unlocked, you should have those first 6 and 7 skills outlined for a specific build you're gonna do, because anything after that is it's just extra fluff. But the first 6 or 7 are like your primary skills that are really gonna shape how you are. They rebalanced the damage of ramming in sea battles and added an effect that reduces the target ship movement to 0 on impact. That's good because sometimes you would ram a ship. If you weren't using that skill that boards the ship, they would still be moving, so then y'all would hit each other again on their turn. And then cannon restrictions. Big cannons can only be used on bigger ships now. Not really a big deal because it's really easy to get the bigger ships. And then we just have some small changes. Fix an issue where the pirate flag could not be lowered near towns. Fix an issue where pirate hunters would not spawn in every player-owned territory. This is like when you own all the pirate hideouts. They just wouldn't spawn in those territories. Fix captain companions come in with a new ship every time they were rehired. You could like sell a ship and then dismiss the captain, rehire the captain, and then sell the ship and just do that over and over again. But they stopped that. Fix the missing dialogue during attack towns quest resulting in a blocker. Fix an issue where the governor quest reputation was not increasing properly after loading a save game. Fix rehire in captain's quest of Esposito in June-May. Fix an issue where experience bonus from approval when dividing loot was not applying correctly. I don't know if that was in our favor or against our favor, but whatever it was, they fixed it. For sea battles, they fixed the front battery shooting animation, fixed the targeting highlights for targeting skills, fixed an issue where the shooting action was incorrectly shown as unavailable after toggling cannon decks. The Overwatch skill is now working as intended. I did see some issues with Overwatch skill, so I noticed a big difference in that too, so luckily that was fixed. The trap setting skill no longer damages the player ship, also a huge issue because when I was testing trap setting a lot before the update, you would damage your players. Like I had one time where it rammed into the island and sunk my ship from using the skill. It was that bad. That's good that they fixed it. Fixed a rare issue where the AI wasn't using action points when shooting. Fixed an issue where empty cannons could fire again. That's interesting. Removed soft locks caused by obstacles. And then fixed several typos and improved localization. I did notice that in one of my videos, Daron Esposito has a like where he likes to invest in his ship, and there's a typo there, and they fixed that. If you're a new player or diving into Tortuga after not playing for a bit of time, check out this video to learn about all 66 upgrades for your ships.